Okay, so this is the Recreation and Parks Cultural Affairs Committee for Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. I'm going to call roll call. I was about to say somebody's name. Brian Meek.
Here.
John Kides.
Here.
Nicole Ayers. And Lisa Janahan. And I am here. And we also have council person Josh Goldstein in attendance.
I don't think you called my name, but I'm here.
Jen, I'm sorry. I thought
That's
I did.
okay.
I'm sorry, Jen. Jen McMurray.
I'm here.
There you are. All right. So we're going to move on to approval of the June 8th, 2022 minutes. A motion to approve, or are there any changes to the minutes? Anyone have any changes? Okay. All in favor of the minutes as submitted? Okay.
Abstain.
That's, yep,
I abstain too.
2 abstentions. So we have, did you get that? Delene,
So I got Brian. I wasn't sure who's the other one.
Lisa Shanahan?
Lisa. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Delene.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I was wondering who was keeping score here.
All right. I don't believe there's anyone on for public participation, right, Delene? You see anybody?
If you're here to speak on an item, you can speak when your item is read.
Oh,
Other than that, if you have anything you want to say for public participation, can you please raise your hand? We do have 3, so I'm going to start with Catherine. Hold on one second. Catherine?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
yes.
Hello, my name is Catherine Snedeker. I've lived in Norwalk for about 30 years and a daily user of the dog park, Taylor Farm, which is lovely and amazing. And I did want to thank everybody for the beautiful park that we have. There's about 150 of dog owners that have a group together that all use Taylor Farm from next door. And sort of as a group, we were wondering if we could put in a petition or something so that there could be some consideration that we might have access in the winter months to maybe a section of Shady Beach to take the dogs over to the beach the way Westport and Darien, Rowayton, and Fairfield allow their dogs access in a certain section in the winter months. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snedeker. Is there anyone else? Is this Prince Ampem? Is there anyone else, Delene?
Yes, yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Now we can, yes.
Oh, sorry about that. It looks like there's some. My name is Prince Ampem, and I'm standing in for the Apostolic Church International.
Yeah.
We are having.
You're on, Mr. Ampem?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to interrupt you. You're on the agenda, so you'll get an opportunity to speak when your agenda
Okay.
comes up. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Sir.
Hey, Ken, is that the same for Mr. Capone? Does he have an item or?
Yeah, it's the same for Mr. Capone.
Okay,
Okay. I think that's it.
that's it. Yep.
So we've got no old business, so we'll move on to new business. Item 5. The city of Norwalk reserves the right to cancel the event for public health or safety reasons as determined by the city of Norwalk in its sole discretion. The city of Norwalk shall not be liable for damages arising from the cancellation of the event. First item 5.1. Oh, we have to make a motion, I believe, right, Ken, to add these items, as you said.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the first item, we had 2 new items added to the agenda after this first agenda was submitted. So I need a motion to add 2 items to the agenda. Mr. Goldstein will move the items. Do we have to vote all in favor of that? Just if we have to, okay. And Mr. Meek, do you want to abstain from that because you have not received them?
That's a good
Madam.
question. I
Yes.
can't align that with the packet here I have. I'll abstain. That's fine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the first item is, so I'm gonna go out of order, right? I could just read this item first. So the first item is of the addendum, approve the use of the following sites by Lightfoot Running Club for their summer series road races, set up to begin 1 hour prior to event. Tear down 30 minutes after event, approximately 100 people per race. And the locations of the race are Brian McMahon High School on Sunday, July 24th, 2022, from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Pasture Beach, Sunday, August 7th, 2022, at 8 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Silver Mine Elementary School, Sunday, August 21st, 2022, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And Fox Run Elementary School, Sunday, September 11th, 2022, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Someone like to move the item? Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. Do we have anybody here to speak to this?
Mr. Capone. Mr. Capone.
Your mic, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, I'm here.
So would you like to tell us just a little bit about your event, how long you've been doing this?
Okay, this is the 45th. This is the 45th year of the Norwalk Summer Series. I think we have a reputation that speaks for itself in the community. We have a very loyal following, and we just would like to continue in that tradition.
Anything to share about these events, Ken, or does anyone have any comments? Okay,
No,
So,
we've been
all
doing
in
yeah, we've been doing
favor?
this a long time, no
I'm sorry.
issues.
I'm sorry,
I said we've been doing this a very long time, there's no issues.
Mr. Stowers?
no issues. It's a traditional event. He's got a great reputation in the running community. And so, yeah, we don't have any problem with it. And he's got all of the stuff in, his insurance and that kind of thing. So we're ready to go.
Mr. Capone, can I ask, so about your attendance, the approximately 100 people, has that been the norm, or is it lower, or have you seen an increase since
No,
we're
it's-
kind of pushing past COVID?
It's definitely lower. It's declining generally across the board in the running races. Attendance has decreased.
Okay. All right. All right, all in favor? It's unanimous. Mr. Kites? You're a yes, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Capone.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to kind of read these out of order. Number 1 is going to be number 2 now. People don't mind, but approve the use of Betts Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Apostolic Church International for their youth picnic event to be held on Friday, July 15th, 2022, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Set up to begin at 1 p.m. and tear down at 5 p.m. Approximately 240 people. Got Mr. Ampem?
Yes, please. Yes, you're right. That's correct.
So would you just share a bit of information about this? How long you've been doing this?
So we've been doing this for the past 11 years. We have held our national conventions or youth conference in different locations, including Worcester, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania State. So we've held it in different places, and this year we chose to hold it actually in the Stamford area. So the Norwalk City Park, we are picking that because it looks, I mean, from what we saw online, it looks like you have a very beautiful surrounding, and we have, like you said, about 240 people in attendance. There will be no liquor, nothing like that. It will just be the place that we will use for games and just for socialization. And this is a church youth group, Apostolic Church International.
So this will be your first year in Norwalk?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, okay, all right. Mr. Stowers, you have any comments?
It's a private event. It's Prince is the youth minister there, and they've adhered to all the requirements, and we don't have a problem being there, them being there. So we may however, have some staff there. We're starting to have staff at some of our events, just
Okay.
because it's a good customer service kind of thing. If there's questions or things that they need. All in all, I think we approve of it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Any further comments from committee members, questions? If not, all in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Meek?
Welcome to Norwalk.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We really love the place, and we hope to come back next year. We have our conference every year. So thank you so much for accepting and welcoming us.
You're welcome. Okay, all in favor?
Wait, I'm sorry, Darlene. I don't think this item was moved.
No?
I think somebody.
Yeah, I thought they did. Oh. Lisa will move it. I thought
Thank you.
Josh did. Didn't you, Josh?
I thought I did, but
I thought you did. I
well,
thought
Lisa
you did.
wants to do it.
Yeah, Lisa, okay.
All
Yeah, I
good.
thought Josh- Okay. All right, so Lisa moved it. It's all in favor. You're gonna have a great evening, Mr. Ampem, or afternoon.
Thank you. We appreciate
you.
it.
All right. So the next is 5.3. Approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Mountain Workshop for their team building positive school climate programs event to be held on Tuesday, September 20, 2022 from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Set up to begin at 7 a.m. with tear down at 4 p.m. Rain date to be determined, approximately 230 people. Someone move the item. Thank you, Ms. McMurray. Okay, who we have here to speak to this?
I don't believe there's anybody here to speak on it. This is an additional session of this Mountain Workshop team that we passed, I think a couple of months ago. They started doing sessions in Calf Pasture Beach, and this is just an additional session that they've added.
Okay. So if this is an additional session, how many sessions does this make?
I'm not sure what the number is.
All right,
I'm not sure what the number is. I think they had 3 or 4 sessions before, and this is an additional one.
okay. I do remember them having executive sessions. Someone's here. Is this Mr. Tulo?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I was muted and I
Sorry.
didn't have a way of turning that off.
I didn't see
Okay.
you, Mr. Tulo. Sorry about
Not a
that.
problem at all.
Okay. Go ahead, tell us something.
Hi, yeah, Mountain Workshop runs positive school climate programs. So this is 236th graders, and it's their fall orientation. We've been doing these programs for approximately 10, 12 years at Calf Pasture. And we run a few of them for different schools around Connecticut every year. And Calf Pasture has just been such a wonderful space for the amount of bathrooms you have, et cetera. And it just works very well because we use the fields there. And it just accommodates our type of programming, which is experiential team building programming. So we are honored to be able to use the space, and I appreciate you taking the time tonight.
Thank you. And any issues? I'm sure we haven't had any issues with this. It's been a
No
good
issues.
partner project. Okay. Anyone have any questions from the committee? No? All right. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Tullo.
Thank you so much.
5.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. 4, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into a 3-year contract with Active Network LLC for the purchase of recreation management software in an amount not to exceed $51,475 for year 1, $28,875 for year 2, $30,319 for year 3, and $31,835 for year 4 extension, and $33,427 for year 5 extension. Funding for year 1 through the ARPA account, years 2, 3, 4, and 5 through Recreation and Parks operating budget. And I think 3.1, I think I'm going to move all these together because it doesn't make sense to do them individually. And 3.1, authorize the Director of Recreation and Parks or representative to issue yearly change orders in an amount not to exceed $5,147 per fiscal year. And 3.2, authorize the Director of Recreation and Parks or a representative to approve 2 one-year contract extensions. Would someone move the items? Thank you, Ms. Councilwoman Ayers. All right.
I'll open it up just for talking, and then Sandy, I don't know if someone is here from ActiveNet as well, but as many of you may know, we kind of have kind of an outdated, very clumsy scheduling, facility scheduling system right now, where the financial back of the format is not really up to date. And so we look for a more comprehensive one that can fit all our programs, our facility scheduling, program scheduling, class scheduling, field scheduling, very comprehensive financial component to it that both IT and the Comptroller's Office have endorsed. And so we want to move on and get authorization to go ahead and follow through with the purchasing. Sandy she knows where we are right now. She's been dealing with purchasing more, so I'll let her talk.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the support with this piece. This is what is going to launch us into the 21st century. Our current software is very clunky, as Robert said, and this is really the tool that we are needing from the Recreation and Parks side, as well as a user-friendly side for our residents. It's going to make things so much easier to register for our programs, activities, camps, classes, events. And then it's really, really easy to use for, facility management. We do a lot, and I think it's time to communicate that to the public in an easier, user-friendly way. And I think this is a great platform. I believe Melinda is on to answer any kinds of questions. We've been at this for quite a few months, and we've looked at least 5 different companies, maybe 6, and interviewed them extensively with the Comptroller's Office, with purchasing, with IT. And we're so grateful that this has turned into an interdepartmental effort. And we really feel confident with the selection that we have chosen. And if there's any other questions, I know Melinda is on from ActiveNet, that she can answer any other questions.
Sure. Councilwoman McMurray.
I actually think Councilmember Meek's hand was raised first, so I deferred it first.
Oh, thank you, Jen. Notwithstanding the fact that the systems need upgrading, I totally appreciate that. We have 3 school-age children that have enjoyed Norwalk Parks and Recs every year, and always the hardest part is registering. So if you can get the kinks out of that, that would be awesome. That said, for this item, I'm going to abstain. I just have to, as a software professional, having worked in the industry for years, that sliding scale of payments over 5 years makes absolutely no sense to me. These things are typically driven with a lump sum sales figure and a flat rate of annual maintenance. So I really don't understand the cost curve where it goes up and down in each of 5 years. I would love to learn more about that. I'm sure this is a wonderful program to go in, but I would just like to see more about the scope of work, deliverables, things like that, ongoing maintenance and service, and what lays beyond 5 years. You know, some of our systems are 20, 30 years old. Maybe they shouldn't be, but we should expect this one to last more than 5 years. So I'd like to know a little bit more about that, the competitive comparisons, where this vendor is operating in other towns or jurisdictions. And there's just not enough information for me on here to vote yes, although I think I would be a big yes from my personal experience. That's it. If there's anything you want to address here about my concerns, I'm still going to abstain because I don't think you can get me all the information I want in this short order. Thanks.
Maybe Melinda can address some of that. About the cost.
Yeah. Yep. Hi, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to attend. I can address some of the concerns. The first year, the initial year has a couple components. So one component would be the annual cost. And then there's also a one-time upfront cost for the implementation, where our team will help your teams, implement the software, get everything set up. For years 2 through 5, the increase is in the contract. It states that the annual cost may increase by up to 5% per year. Typically, it doesn't increase that much, but I wanted to put the figures out there at the maximum amount, knowing that it wouldn't be any more than that, if that makes sense.
I can say to your other question about where is it operating, and she can probably expand on this. It does operate in the city I came from, Seattle, and so I know a lot about it. Most of my divisions use it, and also we used to use a kind of a foremost product called Class, and it was out of Canada, which I thought was excellent. And I think that basically this company, I could be incorrect, but I think this company kind of absorbed Class. So I think they're one of the foremost companies in the industry, and we've had nothing but success in Seattle. So that's just a little bit for me, but just one city.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Stowers. That is correct. We work with municipalities and other organizations all across North America. There's over 1,400 communities using ActiveNet. The city of Seattle is one of our customers, Chicago Park District. Those are a couple of the larger customers. Fort Worth, Texas is one of our customers. Just a variety of organizations, all across the country.
I do want to, can I just make a quick comment? In my former municipality, I did use Active for one of the larger races that we did, and that's just in a very small piece, and it made our lives so much easier. I have experience with probably 3 of the 5 platforms that we're vetting out and going through, and I think Active.net is the one that would really support where we're going, right? So I think maybe 2 of the 5 that's not active that we were looking at, we're probably strong enough to do what we're doing right now, but nowhere near is what we need for the type of programming we want to head into. So I think this will grow with us and support the needs for the variety of the different things that we need to program for. But I hope and do have a lot more information that I could prepare and circulate. I'm more than happy to do that to help answer some of these questions.
You might want to also know that our IT director and our comptroller really looked over this platform because there are certain things that had to, the financial, the uploading of or the downloading of the information into our system. They can do that. Some of the other things we looked at, it was going to be much more difficult for them to meet our financial data needs. And so our IT director and our comptroller director also endorsed this product. So just to let you know.
Would I just follow up and say, I could probably vote for this in a full council meeting. I would just like to see a statement of work prior.
Okay.
We could send that. You can send that, right?
Thank you.
I can absolutely send you. We have everything documented that we started back in September working on this. So we've been pretty good with documenting that. I'll be more than happy to circulate that tomorrow.
Great. Ms. McMurray?
I apologize again. I am actually out enjoying one of our beautiful parks with my daughter while she's doing soccer practice. So I apologize for any background noise, but there's no better way to do a Parks and Rec meeting than at one of the parks. I'm really glad that we're doing this. I appreciate that you guys are being forward thinking in terms of what software we're going to implement in terms of future programming. So thank you for that. And then secondly, I have a question. After we have voted on this and it's gone to the full council, how long before it's implemented?
So we're really planning on doing it in phases so we don't confuse and disrupt services. Right now, we're currently using a temporary solution for our camps. So that was the biggest piece. As soon as we sign the documents and move forward, we will start probably merging our families and our accounts and starting with probably classes and then facilities after that. So it'll be in phases and we hope to have it all completed probably before 6 months.
Because of the conversion, and I went through several of these conversions in my lifetime, we have left, we did renew RecTech for 1 year. And so that, it will give us time to do the conversion. And also ARPA, there's enough ARPA funds where we're going to hire a dedicated person to work with ActiveNet and then train our staff. So at least it'll be a dedicated project term.
Jen, did you have another question? Okay, great.
No, I apologize. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions, comments? All right. All in favor? Don?
Abstain.
Yes.
Okay, and so we had
I'm sorry.
6 yeses and 1 abstention. Trying to count fast. Got you, Mr. Meeks. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the last item, 5, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Grilling, to enter into a contract with Peter DeSolfi Associates, project number 4179A, for architect and engineering services for Cranberry Park. Fee schedules attached. Funding provided through the State of Connecticut Office of Economic and Community Development Urban Act Program 4-66C. Someone please move the item. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Okay, is that you, Mr. Stowers?
Yes, as you know, we were fortunate to get a $5 million grant, kind of in a backwards way, but we've caught up with that with the application that you guys authorized, and we then put out an RFP for architectural and engineering design services, and we interviewed, I think, 7 different companies, and we came up with a finalist of 3 companies, of which we put back out an invitation for bid to know their cost. And we got back, actually, one of the folks declined to respond. Another company actually did not meet the scheduling of the deadline to get their information in. So we did get one that qualified, and it's Peter Sophie and Associates. And we'd like to go ahead and sign a contract with this company. Ken may have more to offer. He's really the project manager on this. So, but that's kind of an overall high level kind of response. Ken, you have anything else that you can contribute?
No, just as Robert said, we've been working on this probably since February. I've been dealing with the state and the Department of Economic and Community Development, doing all the front end paperwork for the grant. So we're excited to have a architect and engineer on board because they're really gonna get to the nuts and bolts of the projects that we want to complete with the money afforded to us.
Any questions or comments for Mrs. Bowers or Mr. Hughes? All right, all in favor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what are we architecting? I don't have that packet. Was that part of the addenda?
Yes, that was one of the addendum.
I'm just curious, what are we, I love Cranberry Park, by the way.
Yeah,
I
so-
live right around the corner. What are we architecting for?
So we were given a $5 million grant through the state of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. So our preliminary list of work was to upgrade the electrical in the mansion, upgrade the second floor plumbing in the mansion, do some trail work throughout Cranberry Park, drainage work around the outside of the mansion, and then a renovation and rebuild of the 5-car garage at the bunkhouse property.
Okay, I think I remember hearing about that. So what are the architectural fees? Roughly 200, 300K?
So depending on, so the grand total, and that's also for construction admin services, was $497.
Okay,
that's
with the project manager in there.
Correct.
Okay, and that
Correct.
comes out of the grant?
Yes.
Yes, that
Okay.
comes out of the grant.
Okay, excellent, thanks.
Yeah, it's our desire really to put most of the money into the mansion, because I think that's what people have been hearing about, and we don't want, 2 years from now or 3 years from now, people to go in and say, hey, where did all the money go? So we want the mansion to look like $5 million was put into it. We did, or 4 point whatever it's now. But we did put some services for trail work, but what we want to get out of that is really a trails plan. And then we'll look for the money to do the trails plan.
I don't know if I have this from somebody from Friends at Cranberry Park. I don't know how close you partner with them, but there was an idea at one point to build a boardwalk style pathway through part of the park at least. I know that's pretty huge. It's that's not gonna, 5 million won't cover that, but
No.
when you say the pathway, is that, or we're just talking about clearing and making them a little
We're talking about
accessible?
we're talking about a trails plan.
Okay, oh, plan, okay,
A trails plan.
all right.
Probably the most least expensive and the most practical is really a soft path plan, not a hard or a gravel, but a soft trails plan.
Okay,
That's going to be.
we'll work on that in the future.
Yeah. Once we get the plan, then we can work on the money to get the plan. But we want to put most of the money into the mansion and the systems within the mansion.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm sure the stuff in there is a little old.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any more questions? Okay, all in favor? All right.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we move on to discussion. And I asked Robert if Sandy could attend the meeting to kind of really go over what we're doing with our summer camp programs and their offerings. I don't need to say anymore because I think I say it a lot. I don't want to sound like I'm just, a big champion of recreation parks, but I am, because I think we've seen a significant shift. And I know, Ken, you can probably attest to that too. I don't know if we've had this many people in our camps in a very, very long time. So I think it's due to all the hard work of Sandy, Robert, and Ken. The three of you are doing a phenomenal. Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy,
so-
I have to give all the credit to Sandy and her staff, because they're just magnificent. I mean, it was like the stock market or something on the first day. It was like the stock market was just going up. I mean, every minute there was more people registering and more dollars coming in. It was wonderful. And so I'll let her talk about it, but I just want to congratulate her and just tell you how proud I am of her and her hard work.
Thank you, thank you. I really have to say we have such a wonderful team. It feels great to be where we are at this point. I've been with Norwalk for 2.5 years. I remember our first roundtable meeting with the directors right before COVID. So it's really been such a pleasure to work with our directors, and especially our program coordinator, Brian McQuaid, who has tirelessly worked this vision into life. I could not do it without him. So he's just fantastic. So we're really pleased to say that rebranding our Play and Learn.
Sandy, can I interrupt you for a moment?
I think
Who's TV? We're getting, can someone
it's
go on
Don's.
mute? Dom?
I think it's done. Can somebody just mute it?
Okay, thank you.
So we did take a big step to rebrand our summer camps. So our Play and Learn is now Summer Play and Learn Beach Camps. And it's really important because for a beach town to have that identity, and we're moving closer and closer to having more than just that one beach day, but we're still training our staff on the beaches to be with the children. So it's been really successful. We have 6 camps with 36 sessions. Our upper camp has been fantastic under the leadership of Mark Jackson and Mackenzie Brown. We have 2 directors because our camp is very large. Those are grades 6 to 9. So we also have 2 lower camps that have been very successful in the elementary school, which I feel we can drastically increase next year if we had sole use of the building, but we're still kind of sharing with summer school and different transition programs. And our Little Explorers has been fantastic. That's our pre-K camp. So that has been very well received. And our skate camp was taken under the Play and Learn umbrella, which was, I feel in my opinion, was what it needed. We rolled out registration at the same time as regular camps. The skate camp got the same kind of recognition, same kind of attention. It has its own director now. We actually have about 127 unduplicated skaters for this summer. So it's really grown. On a weekly average, we're between 55 and 60 campers, and we had to turn some away, but we're trying to get really creative to find ways to open up that registration again. So right now that camp was rebranded to be Skate and Art Camp to give our skaters an artistic outlet. A lot of our skaters also love art. And that gives us a way of offering them some programming in the event that it rains. So for that camp, we also recognize that many of our working families weren't registering because of the 9 to 12. So we've made it 9 to 1:30, adding 2 add-ons. So they also get beach time for an hour and a half, and then they can also join our regular camp's extended day program. So the skate camp now is pretty much a full day if somebody chooses it to be a full day. And then we have our Summer's End Camp, which is solely at the beach for all the grades. And that's really well attended too. So I think we cut it off at 100. We ended up with 119. for that week. So it's basically 7 weeks of programming. And then we partner with a couple of private providers for the final 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks in August, where it's very difficult to retain staff that are going back to school. So we will have Lego camp and Mad Science toward the end of the summer. So our numbers have not been this high before, from what I understand. We're at about 625 unduplicated campers. We've had almost 2,500 registrations, which we were able to easily manage with this new platform campsite that we're using this year. So that was really a game changer for us. And we've also had a lot of in-kind services, a lot of people really helping the camp out. Monday and Tuesday, we had volunteers bring them to Sheffield Island for the upper camp. So that was a free trip for them. We also work with Marina Cove. The kids all get, mini golf. And we really tried to breathe a lot of life into the camps with something as simple as toys they didn't have before. So now when they go to the beach, they've got beach toys and shovels and Tonka trucks. And they've got space for Legos and creative play. So we're really pleased with it. We're going to continue to work on the quality. Next year, our sites will probably go down to one director, and we will be able to take our experienced directors and open up new locations with them, which is, I feel like, what we need at this time. So we are very pleased. We have a wonderful team of directors and counselors. So, I will continue to work closely with them. And we're very grateful for the support, and especially from the residents. We've been getting a lot of great feedback. So we're really appreciative of that.
Any questions for Sandy? Yes, Mr. McMurray?
I don't have a question. I just want to say, from a personal experience, from registering my child for the camp to sending them to camp to walking past the camps every day at the beach when I go for my morning walk, it has just been phenomenal. I think there's just like a joy that I haven't seen before, and there's so many exciting new things happening. And I just want to thank you, because I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I know Darlene says it a lot, but I think the rest of us can celebrate it as well. And so thank you. And I'm really excited to see where you take this program, because it's phenomenal this year. I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Right.
So thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. It's, I'm a mom of 3 first. I say that all the time. That's my first job. I'm a mom. And I tell the parents, we had our orientation this year. I want happy kids. That's what we need. We need happy kids, so to make the lives of the parents a lot easier. So we will continue to listen to the kids to see what they want, and continue to just really to support that quality, that we want to match the quality to what it is we're saying we're going to do. So I really appreciate the support.
Mr. Meek?
Yeah, I just want to add, my kids are having a great time this year. Everything has kind of been seamless for us. 13-year-old complains, but that has more to do with her than anything else going on down there. But they're having a lot of fun, and we appreciate your support.
That's great. I have a 13-year-old too. I'm there with you. I know how tough it can be. So, but they love that Gaga pit. I got to tell you, first thing in the morning, I did not expect that to be so packed.
Oh, I don't get any details. I just I got sunburned.
Okay. But are they going to bed early? Are they tired? That's all we want. Are they dirty, and are they tired? Our job is done.
So Jen, Sandy, let me ask, so if every child that signed up got in, what would that look like right now?
We would probably, so right now we just kept expanding. Now that I kind of have a better idea, I think we can easily get to like 1,000 or 1,500 kids easily. It all comes down to location. So I can't have overcrowding.
Right.
And, it's really important that we get the classrooms. In the past, we didn't have classrooms. So these groups of children have to have a wind down space, a cool space to when they're not in the sun, right? So, or on a rainy day, we have to have some programming space in the schools. So if we had more concrete classrooms, I can definitely expand our numbers because our staff are ready for it. At least the leadership is. And if we will add more staff to support those directors. It comes down to just shared spaces. So if I have a better idea of how many classrooms well in advance, and we're working on a joint use agreement with Norwalk Public Schools. So, you know, it comes from that direction. The more space we can have in the schools, the more we can program for. We don't really want to turn people away.
And in terms of, you know, when you have multiple children and families, it gets pretty expensive. And I know you and I had this conversation even last year about scholarships, being able to either do that or a sliding fee scale. And I know, Robert, we talked about, and I think I even mentioned it with you, and so I think that's one of the things too that we really need to now even, you know, start to think about a lot more. How do we ensure that every young person or family has an opportunity to participate, and that funding is not the barrier that's keeping them from recreation and parks? And so I think there's a plan that has to be made.
And we did start the initial phase. I did meet with legal, and I did get some kind of advice to see where we can kind of get some guidance on that sliding scale, and to see what kind of other funding we can tap into to support that. I want to just say that with this new online registration platform that we used, it allowed families to make payments for like 9, 10, 11 weeks. And that really helped for those with the multiple. And even though we don't advertise it, you know, there might still be a handful of families. I'm still kind of helping, you know, pushing it out a little bit for them. And that's been really appreciated. And believe it or not, it really helped. So our numbers were really good, and the platform made everything just very transparent. We could see where we were with revenue and what we've brought in for registration.
Great. Ms. Ayers?
Thank you. My question just is kind of a follow-up from the question that you asked. Do we apply for any funding to assist with the operations of the summer experience for the young people?
We did. We applied for a grant, and I think Robert can tell you a little bit more about it, but we did apply for a grant. I believe it was a matching grant. And I think there's a lot more that we can tap into. It's just we started looking a little later, or it was brought to our attention a little later.
Yeah, we applied for the grant. We didn't get it. And I think they were bouncing around on dates and deadlines, and I don't think they were as organized, but we'll go earlier this year. And I think we'll have a good chance to get that. I'm also looking for a more permanent way to have money for scholarships. I don't even know, I mean, I thought about asking the mayor about this too, about the city actually contributing to a scholarship fund. A lot of municipalities do it throughout the country. But what I also, we're looking for the master plan surveys to come back and see what the citizens are saying about a park foundation or other ways that we can support. But I've had a few discussions about a park foundation, and that is the way a lot of cities are bringing in money for scholarships and small improvements in the parks. But we're looking for a way, and we're going to find a way to do that.
I also want to mention that more than 50% of our participants are part of the free and reduced lunches. And so I know that need is there. And that actually allowed us to provide breakfast and lunch for all the campers, even though I do encourage it to be a supplemental because we're such an active camp and the kids need more than just that. But I know a lot of parents that are just dropping off and depending on that. So that was a big piece that really helped this year too, including the skate camp. So they have everything that, well, the same kind of support that all our other camps got too.
Great. Any other questions for Sandy? No. you know how I feel. I don't even want to say it anymore, but it's just fantastic. And I think what you've shared and what you're doing right now kind of supports the need and the desire to have an upgraded system. I mean, if we can get to 1,500 to 2,000 participants a year and go up incrementally each year, we're definitely going to need IT capacity and software to keep making that process as seamless as you possibly can and easy to use. So thank you all for what you do. All right.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
I think that was probably it. Oh, Sandy, you wanted to speak. So I know at one of the last meetings, I kind of mentioned the summer concert series, and actually the mayor mentioned it at our council meeting, the announcement, I think, that you put together with Michelle, right? So maybe if you just want to speak a little bit about that, Sandy, because you and I and a couple other folks.
Sure. Yeah, so Darlene and I probably started talking back in
I'm sorry, hold on,
even.
Sandy, hold on one moment. I'm sorry, Ms. Ayers, is your question about something else or about this we're talking about now?
It's about something else. I'll wait till she finishes about something else.
Okay.
So we actually, we started the conversations actually back in October, believe it or not. And then we started working on it in February and March. And so what we're looking to do, I somebody on mute. What we're looking to do is to run a summer jazz concert series. And, you know, we've been very fortunate we have a great committee, and we've been working with the second taxing district that has some funding. And they also secured quite a few sponsors. And now that that's really complete and secure, we're able to move forward with 4 fantastic concerts this summer. We're looking possibly 2 at the beach and 2 elsewhere, at least 1 elsewhere. And you know, right now we're just put a public release out today, looking for some local jazz artists. I did my research and I was able to come up with at least 20 great jazz bands, but you know, always local residents are always our first. We always like to give that kind of opportunity. So we are going to move forward with these concerts in August. They're going to be 90-minute concerts with a break, and in hopes to, you know, during the break, we can bring on a local artist as a singer. And, you know, there's just a lot of fun. Jazz is going to bring a different vibe, a different element. It's just something we haven't done recently. And I think we can do it successfully. And our regular beach tribute bands, that's going to kick off next Wednesday. So we have concerts lined up for July and August at the beach on Wednesdays with the Thursday rain day. So that's all set and ready to go. And we can probably within the next 10 days launch a flyer of some sort for the jazz. And I think it's going to be really well received. Can you hear me, darling? I think you're.
Thank you. Ms. Ayers?
I just received a constituent complaint, so I wanted to bring it to the committee. There is more activity in our parks, and I know in the last budget cycle we did, if I remember correctly, get some more funding to hire some people in this department. We know it's not enough what we need, but it is a step in the right direction. The constituent complained about the grass at Vets Park, that it needed to be weeded and taken care of. She addressed that her child is there playing sports and the grass really is in a bad shape. So I told her that, you know, thank her for bringing it to our attention, and that I would bring to the committee attention since we were on Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Can we talk about, what's the schedule for grass cutting, I guess?
We're at Vets Park once a week. So as you guys know, there was a recent ordinance passed within the city which banned the use of pesticides, which also includes herbicides on the lawn. So we're trying to find solutions now to deal with clover and weeds and kind of probably items that she's complaining about.
Okay, Mr. B?
Yeah, are we like in an unofficial business segment of the program? I just wanted to say, well, thank you for welcoming me the other night and having me here. I also just wanted to bring up, it's kind of new news, but and I know the purview of this committee kind of ends at the boat launch, but John Romano passed away earlier today, very, very suddenly. And, he was a big stalwart on our harbor commission for years and an item of recreation, not necessarily under the charge of this committee, but I'm sure you've worked with that team over time, and it's very sad and very sudden and very fresh. And I just wanted to remember him here tonight.
Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Meeks. I did not hear that. Wow. That's sad. Any questions for Sandy or any comments? So if you all know of any local artists, please let Sandy know. You just give her their contact information, and she'll reach out.
We did put up a
many
form.
people, like if we get more than we need, of course, it'll be, we'll have to choose folks, but if you know somebody, that would be great. And young people too. We've got some pretty talented, 18 to 26-year-olds that come out of our school system that could possibly be an open act. And we reached out to one who's actually 26 years old and's got a very extensive career already, who hopefully you reach out to this week, and she agrees to participate. So that's it. If no one has anything else, I'm sorry. Good. No one has anything else.
I was just going to mention that, we had our annual retreat last week, and we developed some goals and for this year, goals and objective and work planned. And so as soon as we get those all put together, we'll send it to the committee, because it's going to outline a lot of your work, because we have a column where it says, council approval and mayor approval of some of our issues. So it may at least give you an idea of some of the things that will be coming to you.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. So motion to adjourn. I guess that's. Oh, Jen came on quick, but I think Lisa beat you to it. All right, all in favor, aye. Thank you very much, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Well, good
Good night.
night. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.